Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks and a happy Easter Sunday to all of you. In the meantime, we're going to be enjoying an awesome replay by Raffi 290 in the Tier 10 Soviet reward tank, the Object 260. This is the fourth reward vehicle from the personal missions, and boy is this a pain in the butt to be able to get. I cried tears of frustration trying to get this tank, and then a few of joy towards the end. Was it worth it? Yeah, I think it was, because this tank it's rather novel. It kind of bridges the gap between a heavy tank and a medium tank. It doesn't quite have the same armor as an IS-7, even though from the front the profile does look similar. Because it's taller, that means that the angles are less than an IS-7, and I feel like the lower plate is a lot weaker than the IS-7's lower plate. But then again, the upper plate is still wonderful. Your turret armor is hit and miss. Towards the side, it's much weaker than the IS-7. And the tank also does have some annoying places on the mantler where rounds are going to go in. So what do you gain? What's the benefit? Well, this tank is much faster than an IS-7. And it also fires Apcr rounds as standard, which have awesome shell velocity, a lot like a Tier 10 medium tank. Now, if you were thinking this vehicle got the DPM of a medium tank, well then you'll be really frustrated about that, because it certainly doesn't. Fair enough, I think it's a slight bit better than the IS-7, but it's not quite as good as the T10 and it's not even close to having the DPM of a 113. But I feel like the gun handling is just a bit better. I believe the aim time is 2.5 seconds. Let me just quickly clarify that. Yes, with 0.36 accuracy. And also its gun handling is much better than all the tanks that I just talked about. So that's certainly something that the 260 has going for it. Although, we must clarify that the T10's aim time is much better than the 260's. I'm talking about the dispersion that the tank gets when it's turning its turret and when it's turning its hull. And so you'll be pleasantly surprised when you get the Object 260 as to how quickly the shells go towards the target, which means that you can put punchy shots in, preventing your enemies from making those last-minute adjustments. And for the shell delay, between the shell velocity from you firing and hitting the target, which means that you do make cleaner shots. Well, at least that's what I found from playing this tank. Now, Raffi has made some really good moves here. He was going to play aggressively up into the northeast, and oh gosh, before we talk about that, he sets that Centurion Action 10 on fire. He obviously was panicking there, doesn't press his fire extinguisher, and he full burns. Raffi able to do 1,000 damage to him with a single shot there, and now he's going to punish this 5120. So Raffi went up to the northeast, and he saw that he was alone on that flank, and so now he's pulled back, and he is holding on to this corner like a boss. Just look at the amount of tanks that Raffi has in front of him here. He's flanked by 2 Tier 10 medium tanks, even though he's already killed one. Now he has to shut down this Tier 8 Indian Panzer, and a 5120, thankfully a T54 on his team decided, and that T54's name is Fingers of Fury, decided to be very aggressive there, helping out Raffi on this flank. This is certainly an action-packed game right from the get-go. Raffi is holding in well. He's using this building, which I thought might have been destructible, but he is showing me otherwise. A great shot there into the cupola of the M48, and the AMX-30 on the enemy team narrowly misses him. Look how many shots the Object 260 is taking here. It has already been hit 9 times, 10 ricochets, 3,700 damage blocked. The armor on this tank at these kind of ranges, when you're angling the tank such as Raffi is and hiding the weak plate when you angle the tank, which would be the inside here on the front plate, the armor is actually fantastic. It's only when the enemies really get to fire, in my opinion, premium rounds at the front plate of the tank that it really does start to struggle. And then you'd wish you were in an IS-7 because you'll have a far higher chance of blocking. So now he takes a swing at the Object 140. Good shot there. Hard to see which angle the Object 140 was facing, but here comes another Tier 10 medium tank. The M48 A1 Patton trying to flank him. He's getting shot from an IS-3, also an FE4202P from above, and an M4A1 Revelarice. And he reverses. Will the M48 Patton punish him? Yes, he does. Finally going through the side of the turret, taking off the ammo rack, but a quick dab of the 4 and the 2 key. He gets it back into action and finishes off that Tier 10 American medium tank. Now Raffi has to try and avoid getting shot by this Object 140, but thankfully he's got 2 Tier 10 tank destroyers that are dissuading that Object 140 from pushing around the corner, and he reverses, unaware that Raffi had zeroed in a shot on him. Under barrage from the Tier 10 Batchat on the enemy team, the Batchat knocked out his driver, but he puts him back into action. Now he has used his repair kit and his med kit Hopefully we don't get any more damage to the tank outside of hit points for the rest of this battle. A nice shot there into the Reveillerise, but unfortunately it rolls low, only 412 damage. The average damage of this gun being 440. Not quite as good as the IS-7, but still 440 is better than that of the E5 as an example. And he connects a shot into the top of that Tier 8 French premium medium tank. Boy, just, can you believe it? 7,000 damage in 5 minutes. He has taken this game and just put the whole of his team on the back here, really. He was even playing against some decent players on the enemy team, and he just caught them in the perfect ambush. Really, the play that he made at the beginning here, where he decided to fall back from the northeast of the map into that position, was just brilliant. I didn't realize that tanks that were camping along here had such good shots down into the side. And Rafi just... he created a graveyard of the enemy team there. Just absolutely flawless. Fantastic play. And he's not done yet. He needs to go hunting this Object 260. He's had to kick so much butt that he's run out of APCR rounds now, and so he's having to use his heat rounds. But it's not every day that you have to do over 7,000 damage in just under 6 minutes of the game. That AMX-30, not exactly using the 914 physics to the greatest effect there, ramming himself up that edge, giving Rafi a nice easy shot into the side. Now the Jagdpanzer 100 on his team has come under fire from a Tier 9 American tank destroyer, although it might as well have a Tier 10 gun. You don't want to get hit by that 155mm very often. Oh, bad decision there, Rafi. You had the side of the turret and you shot the side of the hull, went through the spaced armor with your heat rounds. Remember that heat rounds don't do very well against spaced armor such as tracks. Much better decision there. He's learned, doesn't make the same mistake twice, puts a good round through the side of the flat, unspaced armor of the T-30. And another one. Now the rate of fire on this tank, it's not amazing, but you can see that the damage certainly does stack up quite quickly when you're in these kind of situations. And he is shooting one of the Tier 9 tank destroyers with the lowest DPM, that T-30. While it does have that monstrous 750 alpha damage, it has pretty darn good turret armor and 10 degrees of gun depression, but one thing that it doesn't do is put the rounds in fast and take its opponents out quickly. Great shot there by Rafi, through the bush, unspotted. He's really doing some good tag team work here with the Jagdpanzer 100, and he's also using that building to try and hide from the Batchat 15558. Remember, that is an autoloader, but the T-30 shuts down the Jagdpanzer 100 and Rafi takes advantage of it. And he can't decide now whether he's going to load a high explosive round or a heat round. He's loading heat, but I think he would have done better if he was loading a high explosive round here. Remember, he's got 2 Borsigs to kill and an FV4-202 that's on a tiny amount of his hit points. I believe the high explosive round would be able to kill the FV4-202 here, but maybe he's gone whole next level meta and he's decided that he wants to save those high explosive rounds to kill the Borsigs, and so he's going to use the heat round on the tank with the most armor. If he's decided to do that, then that really is some next level thinking. He shuts down the FV4-202, that brand new Tier 8 British premium tank. Oh no, let's hope the Batchat doesn't have another round. Remember, that's an auto-loading self-propelled gun. He gets forward, the Batchat misses. Thank goodness he's got enough health in this game to take a shot from the Borsig maybe half the time. The Borsig kills the Tier 10 British tank destroyer on Rafi's team. He's got 8 kills, 9,400 damage. What's he going to do here against the full health Borsig? Well, here's those high explosive rounds. Great shot, tracking him and also doing max damage there. Well, not max, 541. That is a huge hit. He rams the Borsig, grinds into him. The Borsig bounces off his armor, and he shuts him down there with the second high explosive round. What a result. Now Rafi has managed to bounce 8,670 damage with the 22 hits that he's taken, and he is on the warpath. Something that I didn't mention earlier, well, maybe I did, I can't remember, in all of the action that's gone down here, is the Object 260 is probably the fastest Tier 10 heavy tank, I'd say. Oh, actually, we forgot about that French vehicle, didn't we? Oh, that dastardly AMX-50B, that's quite fast as well. But no, I think the Object 260, for being a pure heavy tank, really does keep up with at least the 113 and possibly goes above and beyond it, as it does have a 60km top speed limit. So remember, Rafi is going against a Tier 10 French auto-loading self-propelled gun here, with I think 6 seconds delay between each of the shells. Now Rafi has 460 hit points left. That's enough usually to take a shot from the Batchat, but not guaranteed. He's got a long time left on the game here, 5 minutes. He's on 9 kills. He's going for his Pools medal. He only has 2 shots left though, so he's got to be really careful with his ammunition. The alpha damage, 440, will not be enough probably to kill the Batchat in a single shell, or at least guaranteed. Where is he? Where is he? Where is this? Oh my gosh, he's been spotted. No, no, no! Oh my God, the sneaky French self-propelled gun was sitting in the bush in a position that I would have never have thought. He must have had binoculars or at least coated optics, getting a good spot into Raffi. What an ambush, what a play there by the Batchat 15558 at the end of the game. Usually, artillery will be hiding in the corner over here. I'm surprised that Raffi maybe didn't go and have a peek up there. But then again, if you do manage to get across this front quickly and get into this position, then you can do very well at stopping Batchats from shooting you from up here. So what an absolute heartbreak for the end of the game here for Raffi. This was an incredible replay. It's not often that you do over 10,000 damage in the Object 260. Considering that the tank only carries 30 rounds, it's very challenging to do so. 9 kills, he couldn't quite get his 10th, and it doesn't look like that 4-leaf clover that he must have picked up in that recent St. Patrick's Day event was quite lucky enough. Raffi demonstrated a near flawless game in the Object 260 here, holding on to a flank against pretty much half of the enemy team with minimal support from his allies, at least initially. And irrelevant of the heartbreak at the end of the game, this was one of my favorite replays so far this year. Raffi, thank you so much for sending it in. Let's just take a quick look at the post-game stats. So what an absolutely giant round here for Raffi, 122,000 credits. That makes the Object 260 look as if it's a premium tank, which while it is, it doesn't actually get bonus credits. The only benefit that you get to this tank is being able to use your other Soviet heavy tank crews in this vehicle. And 2,331 experience for the Courageous Resistance. That was 1,554 for a defeat? That's simply ridiculous for a tier 10 tank. He got a cool-headed medal here against high caliber guns for ricocheting at least 10 rounds in a row. A Radley Walters medal for his 9 kills, a high caliber, just not quite the Paul's medal. What a heartbreak. Raffi's marksmanship this game was excellent. 28 rounds fired, 27 of those hit and 28 penetrated, doing over 10,500 damage. And look at the amount that his tank blocked. 26 hits taken, only 4 of those penetrating, 8,670 damage blocked by his armor. And I'm genuinely surprised that Raffi didn't get more assistance damage. I thought he was the one spotting for those allies that were above him. Raffi, thank you so much for sending me in this replay on the replays.QuickyBaby.com website. It was one of the best games that I have seen in a 260, and that's saying something considering how hard it is to get this vehicle. And also, to celebrate Easter, I'm going to be live streaming tonight from 5 o'clock UK time on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby and giving away €100 to spend at g2a.com, which I'm partnered with, a website where you can buy all of the latest games at the best prices. I use this website myself all the time. And so hopefully I'll see as many of you there as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And if this video has sparked your interest in the Object 260, then simply click through up here and you can go through to a preview I did of this vehicle discussing its full capabilities. And I'm really going to have to get myself into this tank. I'm going to be playing it at least a few times tonight on the live stream. Maybe I can even rustle up a full review of it for you in the next few weeks. And let me know in the comments down below, what are you doing for Easter? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.